Good morning and good evening, everyone. So we have been learning AWS services. In our last session, we learned VPC pairing and then adding routes between the two networks. And then we have created MongoDB instance. And then we ran the user data in that so that we can install the MongoDB database. And we are going to improve the infrastructure stepwise. So till now, we are in a position to write any Terraform syntax to create the resources. So now we have been learning AWS services, and we are writing with Terraform, and then we are applying that to the RoboShop project. Okay, so now the infrastructure is going to be a little more complex. So when user hit this join DevOps.online, it should send a request should go to the application load balancer, and this one will send the traffic to our web instance, and any cart, catalog, user, shipping, payment, whatever the microservices, so the request should be forwarded to the private application load balancer. So this is private, this is public. Private means nobody can access except this web instance. Okay, and through this, the request will be forwarded to the particular microservice instance in the private subnet, and we have databases in database subnets. Okay, so this is the whole architecture. Every component is fully protected by the security groups. Okay, so there should be no loophole in that. So firewall should be strictly implemented. So this is the whole infrastructure we are going to do. Okay, first, let me create the services. Just line, and then today we will discuss about the services. So all the time we need to fully understand the security group. Okay, what are the rules you should enable? For example, this MongoDB should accept the connections from catalog and then user component. That's it, nothing else. And then we can enable VPN to troubleshoot. Okay, so your MongoDB security group should be very strict. Okay, let it create. And yeah. Now today's topic is on launch template and auto scaling. This is very important actually, today's topic. And target groups, load balancer, listeners, and rules. Okay, so these are the topics we are going to discuss. First, we'll understand these topics. Later, we will implement with our RoboShop. So let's discuss a small story about a project. Okay. So you are the team leader, like startup project, startup company. So when the company is very small, okay, so maybe the business owners, they have one person in each team. One person in each team. For example, front end, back end, database. Okay, each team have only one person. So the company is becoming big. Initially, there was no work full time. Okay, maybe they are working for 2-3 hours per day, because since the company is very small. Now the company is growing. Okay, so the persons are getting full work. For example, 8 hours a day. Sometimes they are getting more work. So what is the decision we have to take right now? So if employees are getting complete, if employees are busy whole day, it means they are exhausting. We need new resources. So initially they had only work for 4 hours, and then now the work is around 8 hours, 9 hours like that per day. So now it is the time to take the more resources into the each team. So now we need to add the another person here, another person here, and we need to give them KT. right? Take more persons into the team and give them KT. Okay. And that is not enough. Okay, so maybe after 2-3 months, again the work may be full for all employees. Again, you need to take more persons. Okay, so resources should be hired continuously. Hired or fired continuously based on the work. Okay, so this is the thing we have to do. And we have a team like UI. This is the UI team. This is backend team. This is database team. So now the CEO or CTO, so they will get some kind of works like CTO. If they get UI work, so they will forward to UI team. Similarly, backend work. So they will forward to backend team. So this is how the company will function, right? So the same way here also. So whenever you are running some resources like catalog, okay, catalog is there. Catalog is a component, right? Catalog is a Node.js microservice component for us. Okay, if the traffic is more and more to the website RoboShop, then the catalog single t2.micro is not enough. So we need to add more catalog instances if traffic is more. Traffic is more. Okay, so but launching instance, right? You need to select some OS, what is the AMI, and what is the security group, where should you launch it, which subnet network. These are all the important things. What is the key name? So this is all configuration. Okay, instance launching configuration is called launch template. Simple, right? Template is nothing but a format. So if you want to launch an instance, you have to give some template. That is nothing but your AMI. So, and then what is your name of the instance? What is the security group? Where should we launch it? What is the key pair? How much storage you need? All this is all called as launch template configuration. So if you want new instance, just give me the template. Then I can launch the instance. That is what AWS says, right? So that is called launch template. And what is auto scaling? Auto scaling is nothing but it will launch or terminate based on the traffic. Okay, so that's what our HR team will do, right? If you are getting more work, so they will hire the resources. If you are not getting work, then they will fire the resources. The same way auto scaling also will do. The traffic is more, so then it will automatically launch the instances. If traffic is less, it will automatically terminate the instances. Okay, so this input, obviously it need launch template. Okay, because if I ask auto scaling to launch the resources, if I ask my HR to hire one resource, so they need some inputs for me. What are the technical skills it should have? How much experience candidate should have? So all these questions our HR will ask while hiring the resources. Similar way, our auto scaling also will need some launch template as input to launch the new instances. So that is about auto scaling, launching or terminating the instances based on the traffic. And what else? Target groups. Target groups is nothing but teams, right? So here, this is EY team, this is backend team, this is DB team. Similarly, here target groups is nothing but group of resources, like group of resources, group of instances, I can say. Okay, catalog. So this catalog group will have right now 3 instances. So this is catalog target group. Okay, and then load balancer. So load balancer is like our team manager. Okay, he gets some work based on the type of work. He will redirect, right? Similarly here, ALB based on the resource, based on the path. For example, what are the paths we have? Slash API slash catalog, send to catalog target group. And then what else we have? You know that, right? Already those configurations. Slash API slash user, send to user target group. Okay. So that is the load balancer. Load balancer is the point of traffic. Okay. So everybody hits the load balancer. Now, if you see here, so this join DevOps dot online, instead of hitting the instance directly, it will hit the load balancer. Similarly, here it will hit the load balancer, and this is where the decision will be taken. Okay, based on some conditions that we will discuss anyhow. Okay, based on some conditions and rules. Based on conditions and rules. Okay. Listeners is ALP. Generally, on which port ALB listens. Okay. So ALB is nothing but load balancer to balance the load. It obviously mostly HTTP port number 80 or HTTPS port number 443. So this is the story we are going to implement. So just don't worry about the technology. Technology is always simple. First, if you understand the concept and the story behind it, so then obviously technology is very easy. Okay. So now what I'm going to do here is first launch template. Let me take a simple example before RoboShop. Okay. Simple example is like Nginx. First, so this is very crucial because all our instances are going to follow the same way. So if you understand one time, then you can apply it for everything. So as I said, first launch template is very important. This is very simple. You need to give what are the configurations you need to launch the template. Okay. So for example, now I'm saying UI team. So this is the template for UI team, for UI service, for example. Make it a simple concept. Yeah, fine. And then auto scaling guidance. If you just click, it will just give us some options here. So DevOps practice. This is going to be the AMI. So AMI is selected for the launch template. So you have some options actually. You can include the configuration here, or few options you can include in the auto scaling group also. Okay. Right now I'm selecting the AMI and I'm selecting the instance type and key pair. Don't include in the launch template. And then security group. Let me take allow all. This is which network is considering. So this is getting from all the networks. So let us see in default network. That is the security key. This is the default network VPC. So I'm going to launch in default network. Okay. I will have this for the demonstration purpose. Okay. So network configuration, no need. And EBS volumes, no need. It is coming through the AMI. We don't need extra volumes. If you want, we can give it. And advanced details. So here, let me add something that is user data. Okay. So we know this user data. I'm just writing yum install nginx-y and then echo hi, I am from UI team, and then user share nginx and then html/index.html. So I'm just giving some message. Okay. I'm from UI team and then systemctl start nginx, systemctl start enable nginx. Just correct me if I do some mistakes here. Okay. I think it is good. Installing nginx, giving some HTML page and then starting enabling. So this will automatically install and start. So this is the launch template. Okay. Create launch template. So launch template is created. So next, let's go to auto scaling group. Create auto scaling group. Okay. UI auto scaling. I'm just giving UI auto scaling. And which launch template? So obviously I will select UI team. Okay. Version is right now the first version. And then AMI is selected. Everything is selected. Next, go for which VPC. Selecting in default VPC and which availability zone. So let me take it in US East 1A. And then next. And for now, load balancer don't select because we're going to create it and no other services. It's fine. Health check. So EC2 health check is, so you auto scaling should understand whether the instances are running fine. Generally, whenever you launch the instance, it will take some time generally, right? So to install all the things, okay, to install all the things, it will take some time. So we are checking, we are giving 300 seconds or like I'm giving 120 seconds. 120 seconds, the instance should install the packages in that and then to run the services to configure everything, I'm giving 120 seconds. After 120 seconds, so these instances will be checked for health. Okay, health is nothing but we should know whether the instance is running properly or not. So we will see that anyhow. We don't need monitoring, that will give us additional cost. And yeah, this is also not need. How many instances you want? Okay, I need minimum one. Decide right now one, or let me give us 2, and maximum it can go up to 10. Okay, based on the resources it is using, it can go up to 10 instances. That's what I'm saying. And based on what you have to scale, generally when you are increasing the resources here through the HR team, based on what criteria you increase the number of resources based on the work you are getting. Similarly here, the instances target tracking scaling policy. If the instance's average CPU utilization is more than, for example, 80%. Okay, so if all the instances are busy up to 80% of the resources, then obviously we need more instances. Okay, we cannot wait for 100% utilization. If you wait for 100% utilization, then the entire website will go down. Okay, so for the safety purpose, whenever the target is reached 80% or 75% or 70%, you can always increase the number of instances. Okay, for now, I'm just giving here as 15 because we need to test that. Okay, and so these are all instance warm up. This is nothing but you can optionally specify the number of seconds that it takes for a newly launched instance to warm up until it's specified. The instance is not counted toward the aggregated. Yeah, the same thing like earlier. That's it. Okay. So this is done. So what are the configurations we selected here more? Selecting the launch template and then where to launch, which network and what is the subnet, and then something like is this? No load balancer, all these things, it's fine. So we will select the load balancer later. And this is on based on what criteria you want to launch the instance. And then usually whenever there is a instance termination or instance uh, launching, it will send a notification to SNS topic. We will discuss this later when we are discussing SNS. So just like whenever HR is taken one resource, it will HR team will inform the manager. Similarly, whenever they fire the resource, they will inform the manager. So that is as simple as that. And that's it. Now I'm going to launch. So now if you see, it will go and create the EC2 instances here. This is creating 2 instances right now. Because I asked for 2 and minimum 1. Okay, whenever the traffic is 0, at least we should have 1 instance, right? Even the traffic is 0. So instances are getting ready here. Okay, let me connect to that. Cloud init output.log. Okay, so in background, Nginx is getting installed. Okay, it's done, I think. Now let us try to access. Okay, so we are getting the response. Similarly, let us hit another instance. So both instances are ready. So now if you check the average utilization, so obviously no one is accessing. It will take some time to reflect here. So I gave 15%, right? So can generate some load, generate load on web page online. Or I can generate load from here. True. How to call URL in loop shell script. Okay. So while true, curl this URL. Okay, anyhow, let me take it later once the load balancer is set up. Okay, so this is the auto scaling. Right now it is more, I think. So it's more than 15% CPU utilization. Okay. So we got 3 instances. It means the load on the instances is becoming more. Still data is not available. You can see the instance utilization is 28.6%. Maybe some of you are generating the load on these instances. Okay. Yeah. So it is more than 15%. So obviously the instances are getting increased. So that is the auto scaling group. So we can say it is working properly. Right now it's at the 3 and it go up to 10. So anyhow, we'll test this as part of our load balancer also. So now I need to configure this through the target group and load balancer. Now let us see what is target group. Target group is nothing but creating a group and adding these instances. Okay, let me delete this old one. Create target group and instances. I'm going to add the instances and target group name UI team. Okay. And which protocol these instances are working on. Obviously, it is port number 80. Okay. And yeah, this is the default VPC. And HTTP one, it is fine. What is the health check? Health check is, so if this is the health check. If you hit this with slash, obviously it is giving response. If you give something like this, it is error actually. Okay, so this is, let me call this one, and here I will show you what are the parameters it will give. Generally, if you give this, it will give the response. Hi, I'm from UI team. And if we give generally -v, it will give all the options. So 200 series is the success response generally. If you give something else, something like this, so obviously this is an error. What is the response here? You can see 404. So 200 series is the success. So that is what this target group will check. Okay, it will hit on slash because we don't have any other path. and the traffic port is HTTP 80, obviously, no need to do. And here it will check if the 5 health checks is continuously success, then it is called healthy. Okay. If 2 health checks are continuously not success, then it is called unhealthy. Timeout. Okay, it will wait for 5 seconds. Within that 5 seconds, if it is not receiving 200 response, so then it is considered as timeout. Okay, every 30 seconds, it will do the health check. Let me make it 10 seconds. Okay, so every 10 seconds, so this target group will hit the instances on this path and it will check the response is correct or not. And then success codes. If it is 200 to 299, so then this target group will consider it as instance as success. Okay, so that's it. I'm selecting the instances from this particular VPC, and this is the health check, and this is the health check configuration. Okay, so let me make it as 2. Continuous 2 health checks are success, then the instance is healthy. If 2 health checks are failure, it is failure, and it will wait for 5 seconds, and the interval is every 10 seconds it will hit. These are the success codes. Okay, I'm selecting the instances. So these are the instances. Okay, include as pending below. Okay, that's it. And I'm creating the target group. Okay, target group is created. So now it is time to discuss load balancer. Okay. Creating load balancer. Let us discuss this network load balancer. What is the difference between ALB and this is NLB? And first let me create this ALB. Here load balancer name, I'm giving it as it's a generic name, right? So project A. I'm just giving it as project A. Internet facing. Internal means private. Internet facing means public. Okay. So network, I'm selecting the default network, and you need to select at least two availability zones for the high availability purpose. So that is the condition. Select at least 2 availability zones. And this is subnet, and this is the subnet in that availability zone. Security group, for now I'm allowing all. Okay, so now this is important. When someone hits this load balancer on port number 80, here it is called as listeners. So your ALB is running. Okay, how can it transfer the request to the particular target group? So that is nothing but listener. When someone is hitting your ALB on port number 80, you forward the traffic to the UI team. Okay, so that's what we are saying here. Okay, you can add more listeners. If someone hits on port number 81, you can send the traffic to different one. Okay, we will configure it right again. And then, yeah, that's all. Create load balancer. View load balancer. And go here. And this is the listeners and rules. First click, this is the listener. And here we have some rules. So these are the rules. So we will see this rule. Listener is same. When someone is hitting on port number 80, so traffic will be sent to the UI team. And inside the rules, let us see. Edit rule. UI is not good. So this is the default rule if no other specifies. So what I do here is this add rule. Add rule. Okay. So now what I say is if someone hits with slash like UI team, I'm just giving the name next and condition. If the path is slash UI. Okay, the path is /UI, confirm. Next, the target is UI team. Okay, and then next, priority you can give as 1. 1 is more priority. Next, and then create. Okay, so now let us discuss what are these rules. So we have one rule. So we have one listener. This is the listener. So one listener have multiple rules. Just understand this. One ALB will have multiple listeners. Okay, one listener can have multiple rules. Okay, many rules. Okay, right now I configured only one listener on port number 80 because this is going to run on port number 80, and this listener will have 2 rules. So rule number 1, if this is matches UI, then send this. And default rule I'm editing now. Edit rule. Okay, so default rule is return fixed response. I'm just saying 200. So this is the default message from UI team. So that's it. If this pattern is not, okay, sorry, let me edit this again. So this is the default message from project A. So if this pattern is not matched, then this rule will apply. If this pattern is matched, then this traffic will be sent to the UI team. Okay, so that's it. Just remember these points. The UI is a little bit confusing, but anyhow, we are not going to use UI. Okay, so this right now it has one listener and multiple rules. Now let us get the load balance details. Yeah, this is the DNS. If you hit this, what is the response? This is the default message from project A. How the traffic is going? First is coming to the load balancer. And what is the listener applied? You can type in the chat. I'll ask few questions. You can type in the chat. Okay. Oh. Yeah. So now which port number I hit this? Port number 80. So I configured a rule. Sorry, I configured a listener on port number 80. So if I hit this on port number something 443, did I configure that 443? No. So obviously there is no listener on 443. It will not work. Okay, I configured port number 80. This is HTTP. Okay, so and it went inside this listener. Listener is successfully called. And is this path met here? Is this path met? So based on the priority, it will validate. Okay, this is the first it will validate this. Is this success or failure? This rule is success or failure? Failure. So then it went to the next thing. So this is, if no other rule applies, then it is sending us the fixed response. That is what I configured. Send 200. It's not, it means not an error, it is success, but this is the message. Now if I give /UI, okay, it went to that location, but it is giving some error because there is no /UI in that. Now let me give /index.html. . Okay, so this is the slash UI. Slash UI is sending it, but inside the servers of UI, there is no slash UI. That is the error actually. So we can edit this rule again. Or let me just, for the simplicity purpose right now, let me add UI here. Okay, sudo su and then cd usr share nginx html echo hi, this is UI team. Okay, slash UI or slash UI dot HTML. Okay, similarly, let me take another server. DevOps 321. Okay, so now this is done. So we have the path. UI.html. Okay, let me edit this one. UI.html. Next, and then save changes. Let me take incognito. Why is it not found? Okay, restarting generally not required. Okay, so this is done. So it is validating the listener first. When the listener is matched, inside that it is going, and then based, you have multiple things. Maybe these are deleted by auto scaling. What? These are deleted by auto scaling because the traffic is very less. That's why it is deleted. And anyhow, so the path is like this. You can have many conditions based on the path, based on the based on the host header, okay, and based on the request method. If you are getting get request, then you can do something. If you are getting host, you can do something. And based on the source IP address, also, you can send the traffic. So generally where it applies is recently WhatsApp released channels, right? So in channels, WhatsApp channels were already released in other countries like Singapore and then Indonesia, Malaysia. WhatsApp channels were already released. They want to test that. So for that purpose, if any source IP is coming from Singapore or Malaysia, it will redirect to the different WhatsApp. Okay, if it is coming from India, so they are disabling the WhatsApp channels. So like that, you can have many conditions. So we will use these conditions for our RoboShop. Okay, so this is the whole concept of path and then uh, path pattern, and this is the rules. You can have one default rule. Similarly, we can have another rule. So that is related to DB team. Okay, and condition. You can have path slash DB slash or DB slash star also you can use. Okay, if any request starts with DB star, so then you can send the target group to the DB team. Okay, in the similar way, we can have a single load balancer. Okay, and then in that load balancer, if the request is coming from slash API slash catalog, we will send it to the catalog target group, slash API slash user, we'll send it to the user target group. So this is the concept. I hope the concept is clear. So now let us just take 4 minutes break. We'll start again at 7:54 because daily the session is going on for 1.5 hours. Maybe you guys really cannot concentrate. Okay, so let us just have 4 minutes break. We'll start at 7:55 again. Okay, I'm going into the mute. Yeah, so we can start again. So this is the concept: launch template, auto scaling, and then target groups, group them the instances, and then attach to the load balancer, create the listeners, and then implement the rules within the listener. So the same concept we are going to use for our RoboShop project. Okay. So before that, you can see the security groups are important everywhere. Okay. So security group is the first thing you need to create. So this MongoDB security group should allow catalog instances and should allow user instances. And this load balancer should have some security groups. And then this catalog security group should allow load balancer as well. Okay. So first thing is to create security group. And let me go to the console and then delete all these load balancers right now. Let's keep it for the reference. So what I can do here is, the important thing is security group. So usually we will have one firewall team or L2 support, whatever you call L2 support or firewall team. So this security group requirements may be changing. So these guys are only for validation of firewalls and implement. Okay. So whenever you need access to particular port on a particular instance, so it's not that easy to open it immediately when you ask. Okay, you need to go through proper process. You need to raise a request to the request will go to the firewall team and they will understand why you need to open that port. They will take the approval and then your port will be opened. Okay, because that is where the hacking generally happens. So there is like we can form here a separate firewall team. Okay, as soon as you create VPC or VPN, you can just have 1.1 firewall. Okay, so this is dedicated for the firewalls. Let me keep main.pf and variables.pf. Okay, so let us create the firewalls completely. So this is where generally most of us, even me, confuse. So first you need to create from the right side to left side. You need to come always from right side to left side while creation. Okay, and while deletion you need to go from left side to right side. Now I'm creating, so I want this MongoDB security group to be created first. Okay, so later I'll delete this. So let me delete the instances of MongoDB first. Terraform destroy auto approve. So I'm moving this MongoDB security group to the firewalls. Okay. You should have this one. So this component, I'll call it as firewalls. Okay. So this is MongoDB security group. Just visualize this diagram whenever you are creating. And you need to have another catalog security group. So here, Let me comment because the things are changing. Or you can have some merge function here. Merge var dot common tags, and then like this component can just give MongoDB. Okay, allowing traffic from catalog and user and VPN. Okay, so MongoDB security group is created, but the rules are not created yet. Okay, rules are not created. Similarly, I will create catalog SG, and SG name I'm going to give as catalog, and then allowing traffic. Catalog is allowing traffic from what are the components? So it has dependency on a lot of the components like shipping is calling, payment is calling. Okay, you need to, whenever you have some requirement, right now you just think catalog is the only component, and then we implement it. The first phase of development. RoboShop is implemented first with web, catalog, and MongoDB. And in future, you are getting more components like user component, cart, shipping, payment, dispatch, ratings. You'll be getting a lot of components. So according to that requirement, you need to raise a request to the firewall team, and they will add the rules. Okay, if the requirement is good, they will add the rules. Otherwise, they will not add. So right now I'm working with MongoDB, catalog, and then web instance only. These three, let us make it work, and then we will concentrate on the other parts. Okay, so this catalog is created, and obviously I need to add this catalog to MongoDB. So that is the resource rule I need to add. MongoDB to catalog. Yeah, let us just understand this format for simplicity. It means MongoDB is accepting connections from catalog. Okay, so this is the format. So you can always write some description also. Description allowing port number 27017 from catalog. Okay, so then 27017 and then 27017 TCP port, and security group ID is source security group ID is this one, above one. Module dot catalog.sg dot security group ID. So it means the this security group ID from all the catalog instances. So this security group is going to be attached to all the catalog instances. So you are telling I'm accepting connections from all catalog instances on this port. Okay. So what is the security group ID? And again, this is going to be MongoDB. Just let me write a simple comment. So this is allowing connections from all catalog instances. Okay. MongoDB. That's it, right? So now let me write another one, that is MongoDB to VPN. So we should have our VPN security group. So what I will do here is I will comment this. Okay. So I'm just moving all the security groups to the dedicated team, that is firewalls team. Here also it should be commented. Okay. Because this is very important as part of project configuration. So let me take it to the top. Here I'm creating MongoDB security group, catalog security group, and then let me create VPN security group. So this is catalog. Okay. And this is VPN. Var.project name, and then this data source we need here. Okay. I want this data source also. That's why I'm giving this. And here you can see, here we need VPC ID also. So I want the data source of VPC as well. This one. Okay. So to create security groups, obviously we need VPC ID. So I'm referring from the data source. Shit. So I need default VPC ID. I need my IP address. I need the VPC ID created in the previous module. Okay, so all I need. And then anything else is missing. Let's see this. MongoDB security group. VPC is there. And then project name, all those things we have given here. Catalog is fine. And then VPN SG is fine. Okay, let me delete VPN also, the resources. So that's why I was always saying security groups is very important in establishing a project properly. Okay. MongoDB to catalog, MongoDB to VPN. So now port number 22. Just to validate, source security group is module dot VPN underscore SG dot security group ID. Okay, so what is this? So this is allowing traffic from VPN. Just correct me on port number 22 for troubleshooting purpose. Okay, so source is always VPN, MongoDB. It is good. And then what else we need? Catalog to VPN also we need. This is VPN to allow traffic from my thing. MongoDB is 10, and catalog to VPN. Catalog to VPN. Allowing port number 22 from VPN, and this is catalog.sg. So better generally we write this in a notepad before implementing. 62 line. Before implementing, let us write this in a notepad. So first create, just say this diagram. That's why I spent some time yesterday and created this diagram. First create MongoDB security group. And then later we can add rules. Creation is important. Rules can always MongoDB security group. And then what else? Catalog security group. And then what else? VPN security group. Okay. And what else? We need ALB security group also. We need ALB security group. And this ALB security group should be open from this VPC also. So right now, these are the components. We are going to make this success, and then we need web security group. So these are the components we are working on. So if we are able to see the categories, the first thing, then we are good. Later, we will implement this to everything. Okay. So today I'll spend some time on this, and tomorrow we can complete web security group, and this one public ALB. Private ALB security group, and then public ALB security group. And what else? Just let me know if anything is missed. This flow. This is the flow. MongoDB catalog, private ALB, web instance, public ALB, and then default. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 security groups are done. Now let us understand the rules. Just you can type. Let's come from back to here. So MongoDB to catalog. That is one rule. MongoDB to catalog. Or we can say MongoDB underscore catalog. MongoDB should accept connections from catalog. And then MongoDB should accept connections from VPN. Okay, that is about MongoDB. So if you require, you can add more rules. Okay, again. Now catalog. Catalogs should accept, by default, everything should accept connections from VPN, right? From VPN, catalog to VPN. And then you can see here, catalog to load balancer. Catalog to, I can say private load balancer for now. Okay. And what else? That's it as of now in the catalog. Anything else? No. And now let us come to private LB. Okay. And then private LB, it should accept connections from web. Okay. And then private LB obviously should accept connections from VPN. Web should accept connections from VPN, and web should accept connection from public ALB, ALB or LB, whatever. Yeah. And what else? That's all for web. catalog public LB. There is no connection between catalog and public, this one, because in between we have private load balancer. And what else the connections? Public LB should accept connections from internet. Okay, so this is from the internet on port number 80. So these are the rules. Just visualize this. User will hit join DevOps.online in the internet and it will go to the load balancer. We will configure this through Route 53 and this load balancer will hit, we will create the listeners, everything. This load balancer will send the traffic to the web instance and from the web instance for the categories, it will reach the private load balancer. If the request is like this /API/catalog, it will go to the catalog target group. Okay. So now here we will implement another Route 53, that is star.app.joindevops.online. Okay, I'm taking another subdomain. So this subdomain belongs to all the app services. Okay. For example, here, this will go to the private load balancer. For example, here, catalog.app.joindevops.online. It will go to the catalog target group. And then here, user.app.joindevops.online. It is go to the user target group. Okay, so like this. So first thing, if I make this success, the entire connection, then I can simply copy paste all the things. So for that purpose, these things are very important. Okay, so according to this flow, I will reformat this. First MongoDB security group, I'll keep it, and second catalog, and third web security group. Yeah. Before that, everything VPN security group is important. Okay. So when you are doing also, you just use Notepad or some notebook and you write it first. You just think and then write it, and based on that you can implement. That is how you can also troubleshoot. Web security group. So let me create web security group. This is web and SG name as web. Just correct me if I'm doing wrong here as well. Okay. Allowing traffic, you can just keep it. You don't know what else exactly. So this is web. Okay, and what else? Private ALB security group and public. I'll call this as app ALB. Okay. I will call this as web ALB. Okay, app is always private, web is always public. And I'll create this. App ALB. So this is RoboShop, and then here I can just have the name equal to app ALB. Now we have name here, app ALB, and the same name I'll keep it here. Yeah, this is good. And then finally, web ALB. Even it is some time taking process. Okay, so this is very important. That's why I'm spending some time. This is web ALB. This is web ALB. This is web ALB. This component is app. This component is web. Just let's verify once again. VPN and then name is RoboShop VPN fine. Component is VPN fine. And allowing all ports from my home IP. This is okay. Description. So I'm just giving allowing traffic because we don't know. In future, we may change the rules. MongoDB and MongoDB component, that is fine. And this VPN is from default VPC, and catalog, just giving it as a generic description. Catalog is fine. Component is catalog. Can have name also. Name equal to RoboShop VPN. I can also have name here. Name equal to MongoDB. Catalog. Okay. Web, this is fine. And app ALB, this is fine. I'm just creating security groups, nothing else. Web ALB. Okay, once this flow is ready, then we are good. Okay, I need to export all these things to the parameters. Parameters dot tf. Okay. The parameters dot tf. First VPN security group ID. VPN security group ID, and this is correct. And next, MongoDB security group ID. MongoDB security group ID. Okay. And then next, catalog security group ID. Catalog security group ID. Just correct me, okay? If I do something wrong. After that, web security group ID. Oh, this should not be like this. Okay, MongoDB SG, catalog SG, web security group, VPN, and what else? Web SG, app ALB SG, app ALB SG, and then web ALB SG. And we should not do any mistakes here, otherwise everything will go wrong. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so this entire firewalls team responsibility is to create security groups properly and to implement the rules properly. Okay. Yeah, now that is fine. So today we will concentrate only on this, and tomorrow, if this is good, then we can create the resources very easily. And rules, let us implement MongoDB to catalog. MongoDB to catalog, it is done. And then catalog MongoDB to VPN, it is done. And then catalog to VPN. First rule is this one. This is the first rule. Okay. MongoDB catalog, MongoDB VPN is done, and catalog VPN, and what else? Catalog to private ALB. So catalog is running on which port? You can type in the chat. Catalog is running on port number 8080. So you should allow traffic 8080 from app ALB. So this means this app ALB is calling the catalog, obviously on port number 8080. So that is why I should allow port number 8080 from module dot, what is the source? App ALB SG dot security group ID. Okay. And this one is catalog SG. This is fine. So catalog is done. And next, private load balancer. Okay, creating one more rule. App ALB underscore VPN. App ALB underscore VPN, again port number 80. So obviously all our load balancers run on port number 80. So this should allow port number 80 and port number 80, and source is app ALB. This is the source, and no, sorry, source is VPN. VPN SG dot security group ID, and then this app ALB SG dot security group ID. Okay, so VPN is done, and then web is there. App ALB web component. App ALB web component. Okay, so app ALB web, it should again port number 80, but from the web component. From web. And try to give the descriptions also, allowing port number 22 from VPN. So you can see the description allowing port number 8080 from app ALB. Okay, try to give the descriptions also while you are writing it. Allowing port number 80 from VPN. Allow port number 80 from web. So the source is always, it comes from web ALB dot security group ID, and then yeah, this is correct. Okay. So this is done, and finally we have this one, web ALB VPN, and sorry, this is web instance VPN, and then web to public ALB. Web instance to VPN. web instance to VPN, and then port number 80 from VPN. The source is VPN SG dot security group ID, and then the security group is web. Okay, and then similarly from web VPN again, this should accept connections from public ALB. That is nothing but I'm just giving it as web ALB. Source is web ALB. Okay, so web is done, and finally web ALB internet. Web ALB internet. Okay, so this is port number 80 for now. It will upgrade to port number 443. Okay, source is, this is not the source generally. This is CIDR block, because this is going to be internet 0.0.0.0/0. Line number 195. What's wrong in line number 195? Web instance to accept traffic from web ALB. Okay, source is always web ALB, and then instance is this one. I think it's correct. And we are exporting. Yeah, that's it. Now let me just check this. 01.1 firewalls. Parameters type string list value join. These are just security group IDs. That's no need of string list. Terraform. So obviously I should have some provider. Provider can just say firewalls. Okay. Terraform init. For previous instances were not destroyed. Let me delete the previous VPN. Terraform destroy auto upload. Okay, I need to do simple little changes here while creating VPN instance again. Destroy is done. Now I will come at this. Just this, I moved to the firewall team. One Terraform plan. So it was just like security group is very easy, just to create security group and then adding the rules. But it's not that much easy when you really work in a project. Okay. So creation, syntax, everything is fine, but defining like this is little bit important, and that's where everybody do some mistakes and some loopholes. While we are working in projects, so when we don't have this idea, generally we used to give some simply we used to open it for the internet. Okay. Now Terraform apply auto approve. Even banks also does this mistake. Okay, we have got the security groups. You will understand if something goes wrong, then you need to validate actually. Okay. So web ALB, MongoDB, application ALB, catalog. So this is good troubleshooting use case also. Tomorrow we will configure the catalog and then we will see how the requests are really going, how the security groups are allowing or blocking. Okay, this is done. Yeah, you can stop till here today and go through this concept and implement a simple Nginx today. We can have doubt session also today evening. And if you have any doubts, practice, visualize this diagram whenever you are doing. If you do this properly, then only you can understand the future further sessions. Okay. So any questions? Sattar?
Yeah, hello, hi Siva. Good morning.
Yeah, hi, morning.
Siva, like for any three-tier architecture, if we have to design in AWS, like they will give you this diagram, or we have to create this? My question.
If something from your infrastructure, you need to create this. Something from the applications, they will create. So they will tell you, like catalog should operations team. This is L2 support team. Okay, so firewalls, everything they will take care. So they will tell you the infrastructure VPC, and then firewalls team will create this security groups, and operations team or L2 support create the security group, and then you proceed with the remaining infrastructure. If it's a very, very big company, okay, like Amazon, so VPC obviously have dedicated team, networking team. So this network firewalls, both they will manage. So they will
Okay.
prepare the ground. They will decide the CIDR. They will decide the subnets. They will decide the availability zones. They will decide the firewalls, everything. Okay, they will just create, and rules can be edited at any point of time. Okay, so now we created catalog security group. So once the user component is started or cart component is started, so this catalog should accept connections from the cart. So
Okay.
at that time, this cart team will approach to the network team or firewalls team. I need connections to the catalog component on this port number. So then they will check the use case. If they really require, then they will enable. So that's how it happens. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Nani Mikili.
Yeah, Shiva. Good morning, Shiva.
Yeah, good morning.
If any chances to fail load balancers in real time? I
No,
mean,
those are guaranteed by AWS.
okay,
99.9999% something. That's what they say.
if any chance, how to troubleshoot, how to restore that?
Restart.
Yeah.
If you do some changes and apply, so they will automatically restart.
Okay.
So here it is, while it is doing, then it will say provisioning. Okay, if you want to edit something, so what will happen is they will go to the provisioning state again, and that will be automatically taken care.
Okay.
And
Okay.
the parameters you are editing is also important. If you are editing rules, then load balancer cannot be restarted. No need. If you are editing some parameters which really require restart, then obviously AWS will restart it.
Okay. If we are doing multiple servers, how to direct the traffic? That is only through rules only.
Yeah,
If
obviously
any
through
other
the
way.
rules and target groups.
Okay.
Target groups
Thank
is mandatory. This is just like your team. If you're working in a database team, you are called as database team. You cannot work individually, right? So same
Yeah,
here.
yeah.
If you have multiple instances, then it is mandatory to create the target group for those instances.
Yes, sometimes we are using two availability zones, right? So multiple servers. One server is goes down, then it will be traffic is automatically goes to another availability zone.
Now, while creating target group, you can select the availability zone also here, or auto scaling, right? While doing the
Yeah,
auto
yeah,
scaling. So at that
yeah.
time, you can select the multiple availability zones.
Yes. So for that case, it will be going to another availability zone, right?
Yeah. So if you run 10 instances, maybe 4 in one availability zone, 6 in another availability zone, something like that.
Okay. Thank you. Sure.
Yeah. Murali Chand Tumala.
Hi, Shiva.
Yeah, hi.
So a continuation to previous question. So suppose if you have 10 servers and when you do the deployment, so do you in real time, so normally they do offload the servers and do the deployment and then they add to the load balancer, right?
Offload means?
Offloading the servers while they do the deployment.
Oh, you mean
Offloading means
downtime? Downtime.
yes.
Yeah, if we require downtime, we can stop the traffic to the load balancer generally, but we will target for 0 downtime deployment.
Okay, so do we need to like stop or something like a load balancer, or they run continuously?
It will run, but we will disable the target. We will disable the security group rule. Is there, right? So there we will stop accepting the connection. So it simply remove that rule. Then you cannot get the connections, and you will announce the downtime also. So generally, you can create a fixed response, like the application is under maintenance. So here we have something, right? You can give a fixed response. Application is under maintenance.
Okay,
so that's what we do at the time of deployments. If it is the downtime.
Okay, got it.
Yashwant?
Hi Shiva.
Yeah, hi.
For like MongoDB VPN, can we add that security? Yeah. For if we are allowing traffic from VPN to MongoDB, we can route from that app join DevOps online, that route 53 is there, right? Can we route from that also, right? Load
No, no
balancer?
need. No need.
Okay.
Why the load balancer connect? Only catalog will connect. So load balancer is sending request to catalog. Catalog is sending request to MongoDB. Then this is no need. This ALB don't need. And I'm
But if
enabling
you're
VPN. Yeah, tell me.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, you for employee like local, you are enabling VPN for local employees to connect to the
Yes.
database, right? Okay.
Yeah, that is to troubleshoot.
Okay. Yeah.
And that too on port number 22 only. Okay.
Okay.
You can allow all the traffic from VPN, not a problem.
Okay.
Sheikh Ahmed.
Yeah, hi Shiva, good morning.
Yeah, hi, good morning.
Yeah, this is regarding auto scaling. So
Yeah.
here we are seeing like depend upon the load. So the servers are getting created and being destroyed.
Yes.
So in those particular servers, there will be only resources like CPU, RAM, and these things, or there won't be any like configuration, right?
And that's what we selected in a launch template. Based on the launch template, auto scaling will create.
Okay, so there won't be any type of like applications installed on those.
You
They
can
would be
use
like
user
ending
data to install generally.
Yeah, like but they're actually destroying without any notification, right? Without our knowledge.
It will wait actually. So it will wait some time, and you can send the notification also to SNS. Okay.
Okay. So in this particular concept, like, do we have like auto scaling saying that any vertical and horizontal auto scaling will be there, right?
So this is horizontal.
The support of extra load.
Yes, correct.
Okay.
Varun Yadav. Shiva, the components, whatever we wrote, these modules, we can get it open source modules also, right? We can download and customize it.
Yeah, you can do open source modules. It's your wish completely. Right now, we are using our own modules for VPC and this one. But for EC2, I'm using open source module, right?
Yeah. Similarly for ALB and all other components also we can put it.
Yeah, that's what I'm going to use. ALB, launch template, auto scaling. I'm going to use open source modules.
Okay.
If you are interested, you can develop a module also. So that's why we discussed both approaches.
Yeah. Okay.
Fine. So today we haven't discussed any new topics actually. So this is the one mostly theoretical. Now you understood the load balancers, target groups, listeners, rules, auto scaling, everything. This is very simple for today. But only tricky part is this security group. Defining the security group properly is the only tricky part. If you are able to visualize the first flow, then you write a notes like this while creating, and then start creating security groups and enable the roles. That's it. Okay, that's all for today. We can have QA session today because you have to practice this, and then if any doubts, we can discuss in today QA session. Okay. Have a nice day. See you evening.